she's going to announce to y'all real quick about a girls thing coming up that if you have a daughter in our student ministry, you're going to want them to be a part of this.
Hey, so if you have a middle school girl, we're doing this thing that I'm super excited about. It's Girls Discipleship. And so it's like basically for an hour once a month, she'll be paired with an older girl, like 11th or 12th grader, and they'll do a Bible study and have like guided discussion that they'll go through. And so we're doing signups online, and we're just asking for you to commit to do it once a month through May, and then you can reevaluate if it's working for you, if you like it. But it won't be like a set time. It'll be up to you and the high schooler that your daughter's paired with to find like a time and a place that works for you. So it's pretty flexible. I have handouts with like the sign up information, and also you can just go to our website and sign up there.
Cool. Thank you. So what I wanted, my whole purpose of this meeting was a couple different purposes. One of them being, if you have never filled out a medical release form from us, if you would please, right here in the back, we're going to have them. I guess we're going to leave in the cafe, but y'all can see Kelly Temple right here. She's a notary. She can actually notarize that for y'all. So if you want to get one of those, fill it out. Kelly can notarize it, and you're done. So when we go to check in for the next event, whether that's next weekend for the stay retreat or if it's super summer or whatever, it will greatly speed up your check-in process. So make sure you have that done. It is, I'm telling you, if you've never been here for a check-in for anything, that is the line that gets really long and really slow. And no, they don't expire now. So if you did one last year, you're good to go. It's like the best thing ever. I know some of you guys are like, no way. So make sure you get that filled out. But also the other thing I want to do is I want to talk through our calendar a little bit. And if you guys have questions, just stop me. You may have to yell because I really cannot. I can barely see Janet Batson with these lights on my face. And so just stop me and say, hey, I got a question real quick about what's going on. I will tell you, I have no idea what's going to happen with COVID, but we're going to do our absolute best to keep your student as safe as we can. I am as tired of wearing masks as anybody in this world. I promise you, I'm sick of it. But we are going to continue to do that for now until we are told that we're in the clear. And there's a couple reasons. I mean, the medical side of that is this is what doctors are telling us is the safest option. So we're going with. The other side of it is there's people who are not going to show up if we don't wear them. There's a few people who will not show up if we are wearing them. I get that, but I promise you it's way less than those who are not going to show up. And honestly, it's just a mask. It's not the end of the world. Don't put one on. Come be a part of what student ministry is doing. A lot of churches have had to shut down their student ministries. Praise God, we have not, and we're not planning on it either. There are going to be some things that are different. For instance, this weekend coming up for our stay retreat, it is at Olive Street instead of being at Camp Siloam. We had actually traveled. We flew to Oklahoma to look at one camp over there. We talked to Siloam. We were looking at some really cool stuff, and the COVID numbers right there. About the end of October, we started seeing an increase again. It's like, all right, we're going to plan this great event, and then we're going to have to cancel it. So let's plan a way to do this where we don't have to cancel it. And so we're going to Olive Street. Check in, I think it's at 6 o'clock on Friday. Let me pull that back up again. I had it just a minute ago. 6:30 is check in. I'm going to pull the schedule back up again. And let's see. Files. Schedule. And so what I would encourage you guys is make sure, don't show up really early for that because it is going to be cold. Check-in is going to be outside. We're going to do it under the awning of Olive Street. It's on the east side of the building, I think. There's that awning right there. We're going to have a big sign up saying check in here. Get your student checked in. Once they get checked in, they're going to go into the sanctuary. We'll have some cool stuff going on that is for like them to kind of watch on the screen, that kind of stuff. We are asking them to stay socially distant. Now, here's the thing about socially distant with student ministry where it gets weird is because sometimes students ride together. And it's like, all right, so what's the point? They've been in the car for 20 minutes. They've been together for 20 minutes. They're showing up. We're not letting them sit together. We've been a little flexible in that spot. In fact, coming on Wednesday night, you may see a few groups together. They probably rode together. And so we haven't been like just, you got to separate. But what I'm going to encourage you as parents to help us out is that if your student is not riding to this together, please encourage them to be socially distant. We're talking 6 feet. We're not talking 50 feet. You know, they can still look at each other. They can still talk. And as loud as they talk, they're still going to hear each other. So just help us out in that. If you guys can do that part at home, it would be a huge help. And then our session 1 will start at 7 o'clock. We're going to do check-in as quick as we can do it so that there's not a whole lot of sitting around. 7 o'clock, we got Brandon Burks leading worship. Wade Morris will be doing the speaking. Wade is a student evangelist that has done Super Summer and a lot of things. It's going to be really, really good. We're doing a quick snack break. We actually have a way to do that COVIDly safe, where they're going to be going in one line, going around, grabbing their snacks, going back in the auditorium, and we're going to be showing like different kind of videos to get ready for the comedy hour with Johnny W. If you've never seen Johnny W., he is hilarious. And parents, if you guys want to come and be in there with the comedy hour, you are more than welcome. We're not even going to charge you for that as parents. Come be a part. It will be a really fun evening. And then once that's over, we're sending them home. We're not doing, somebody said, well, you send them to houses. No, we're actually, yes, we are, their house. We're not doing Disciple now. This is send them home. But, and I mean, and again, parents, this is on you. Pick your kid up. Bring them back, though. Saturday is going to be a great day. Please bring them back. I know this is different than normal, but help us out in this. 10 o'clock, that's not super early. You can sleep in a little bit, and just try to have them there at 10 o'clock for that session 2. Lunchtime, they're going to come in. We'll have them go in one line into the fellowship hall area. They can sit down. They'll be at tables, but they'll be far enough apart where they can still hang out, but at the same time, still stay safe, and we're going to serve them food. And Janet Batts is cooking the food, and so you just tell your student that they're going to want to sign up for this thing. We'll do 2 breakouts. And you can look online to what those breakouts are. The first breakout is about purity. And if your student is dating already, or if they're not dating, this is going to be beneficial. We are going to divide them up between middle school and high school so they can be age appropriate to what's going on. But please encourage your student to be there for this. It will be really good. The second breakout is talking about holiness and how we live through holiness. We've got several different speakers who are going to be speaking at that. It will be fantastic. And then we're going to do a rec and service project. We're going to actually divide up middle school and high school. And so we're okay keeping numbers down for these things. The rec, we're going to have a huge Nerf war that's going to be incredible in the gym. For the service project, because of COVID, several things have gotten messed up on us. We don't have 100% of the details on how that's going to work yet, but we will have that done probably by tomorrow afternoon. So if you have questions, you're welcome to let us know. And if you're watching online, by the way, and you have a question, put it in the chats real quick. Rick is right here. He can let me know what those questions are. And then if you're watching this later on YouTube, email us at students@fbcrogers.org, and we can answer those for you too. Dinner that night will be the same as lunch. We'll serve them. Session 3, of course, is Wade and them, and then we'll send them home after that service, probably around 9 o'clock. Any questions on Winter Stay Retreat?
What time are you thinking about Friday?
Friday night will be at 10:30 is the plan. So it's supposed to start at 9:30. It lasts 1 hour, so it should be right at 10:30. Yes, ma'am.
Then they come Saturday only, but I have to.
Say that again?
Then they come Saturday only.
Sure, yeah. And what I would do on that, if you have, I know that always happens in winter retreat and stuff, is there's some that are gone, they can't be there for all of it. If you will, when you sign up, do the pay in person, and we'll actually get a discount. Since you're not going to be there on Friday night, we'll make it fair. I want to help you out in that too. So, yes, sir.
Do they need to be dressed for outside at all, or are they going to, everything will be inside?
Everything should be inside. Her question was if they only come on Saturday because they've got basketball games or something, can they still come? And that answer is yes. That also works if they can only come on Friday because something's going on Saturday. By all means, let them come be a part, and we'll help you guys out financially in that too.
I think you just repeat your questions so that people online can hear.
Gotcha. And Dan was asking about, do they need to dress up to be outside on Saturday? At this time, no. So, you have questions on that?
Got one online. Do they need a medical release form for the retreat? And if so, can we download the form and fill out in advance?
Do they need a medical release form on the retreat? And if so, can they fill out? Yes, I know they do need one. Do we have that online? Is Jessica in here? There she is. Okay, so that's probably the easiest thing. If you need the medical release form, if you would just email, just go ahead and do students@fbcrogers.org, and Jessica will get that to you in a form you can fill out, had it notarized, and just bring it with you when you show up. So. Say that again. I can't quite hear you. Okay, so if you need help with scholarship, that application is online. You can get that filled out, email it to us, or send it in like that. We'll take care of that. So if anybody wants to help out, like if you want to help somebody financially go, shoot me an email, chris.roller@fbcrogers.org. We keep it confidential, but we do need some of that going on. Or if you want to go straight to the business office, you're welcome to it. Donna.code@fbcrogers.org is probably who I would email. And just let them know, hey, we want to help a student go to an event, and they'll let us know who it is. And again, 100% confidential. We don't have to let anybody know. I know it's something that a lot of people don't want people knowing, which I totally understand. So, any other questions? See, y'all being nice to me. I like this. So all that being said, that's Winter State Treat, of course. Get signed up. We've got about 80 signed up right now. I'm hoping now that we'll hit 100. My goal was 80 with COVID going on. I think we're actually going to exceed that. The next thing that's going to be coming up, or that normally comes up, is our Super Bowl party. And this year, because of COVID, we've contacted the Rogers Public Schools, or we've rented the facilities to do this. They are not currently renting out anything this year. And so we're actually going to not do our Super Bowl party, which stinks. We tried everything we could to think through how to do this and do it safe. Because once we get to Olive Street, it's kind of free for all normally. There's no way we can stay safe. And if somebody got it and a breakout happened, it would shut our student ministry down. It's just not a risk that I'm willing to take. I don't think it's a risk the church is willing to take. It's not really a risk that I want to take as a parent either. So we are not going to do our Super Bowl party this year, but we will plan on doing that again next year. The next thing is going to be Fuse. A lot of people talk about Fuse every year. It's a great outreach event we do on Wednesday nights. We are going to do Fuse on both campuses. And so it's going to look a little different at Pleasant Grove than what it has in the past, just because if we can go outside, if we have a tent up, then we're going to try to do it outside. If we can't, then we are going to do kind of mobile stations for each team that will be in the hallway in front of the worship center. And it should be really neat. And if your students have never been a part of Fuse, they're going to want to be a part of this on Wednesday nights. We bring in guest speakers. It's just a neat event to be a part of. And so make sure that they know about that. Lead Defend is for all you high school students. It's not for middle school, it's just for high school. Will be on March 6th, and we're still waiting to hear some of the details on it. Right now, they're going to be hosting it live at Cross Church, but they're also doing, I think there's several churches. Cross Church is one of them, but they're also going to be doing some virtual things or options for other churches. So we are going to have Lead Defend and be a part of it. We'll have the details on that for you guys, but y'all can put that on your calendars for March 6th. If you're a leader, by the way, a life group leader, or thinking about being one, March 13th, it's going to be Regroup. We did that last year. It was a really cool deal or actually 2 years ago we did it. It's just a training deal, so make sure you get that on there. And there's some really good in-depth stuff that comes through Regroup. It's a great event. Even if you're not a leader and you're just thinking about it, come be a part of Regroup with us. And then Spring Break Mission Trip. It's a lot of questions on minds. What are we doing for Spring Break Mission Trip? This year, again, we did everything we could to try to figure out how to do a Spring Break Mission Trip. There's just no way to do it. Not until things start calming down. There's just no way to do it. The travel is extremely difficult. We're planning to actually finally go to Belize. And as we got to talking and looking through what it was going to take to fly there and to be able to do it, we just couldn't. And so we looked at some stuff here in the States, and we ran into other travel problems trying to get people to some different areas, to the point that we went to the directional team and just asked them, like, what do y'all suggest us doing on this? They came back and said, look, there's no way to do it. And so we're pulling it out. We may have some one-day things on spring break, but for right now, as far as that whole week-long mission trip, that's where we're at. And hopefully in the future that will change. But for right now, we're just there. And then there's going to be a girls' retreat on April 17th. And so just keep that in mind. And then also, if you have a high school, how many senior parents we have in here? Sweet. Got several of you. So we will send out a letter to you guys probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks about graduation stuff and getting ready for that. Right now, the plan is May 2nd. Will be our graduation service. We'll do a meal in here, hopefully, fingers crossed that the COVID stuff will be over enough to where we can feed everybody in here. We'll kind of see how that goes. if we can't do a meal, we are still going to do something very nice for your students. And last year we got in vans and drove to every single senior's house. Oh, we were so wore out, but we did it, and it was awesome. And we brought in we had a sound system playing. What's the graduation song? Yes, thank you. So we were playing that as they were walking out. We took pictures, brought a photographer with us, and it was a really cool deal. So we will do something very nice for your seniors, even if we can't meet in person. But hopefully by then we'll be meeting in person. I'm hearing some positive things from a few of our medical professionals on that. And then fifth grade preview night, if you have fifth graders, May 5th will be when that is. And then we'll do a out of school party on June, I think it's either May 26th or June 2nd. I'm trying to read this little bitty map. I think it's May 2nd. We got end of school party. So, or June 2nd, sorry. So just be planning on that. Now, the other reason I want to have this meeting is talk about the summer for just a second, because there's a lot of things that are up in the air right now that have nothing to do with our church, but affect our student ministry. The biggest one being, of course, Super Summer. Right now, we are planning to do Super Summer. Sign-ups will start on February 1st. That's the plan. However, just so you guys know, there's a lot of different clauses right now going on that allows universities to meet, allows camps to meet. The problem is when you have a camp at a university, which is exactly what Super Summer is. We meet at Ouachita Baptist. So we are waiting for some clearance that hopefully we'll have in the next 2 weeks. But I want to say this. If OBU comes out and says that we cannot meet at OBU's campus, or if they say that Super Summer is going to have to be half the size that it is, we at First Baptist Rogers are going to host our own camp. Now, I say that to say I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. We've been looking at several options in this. Had a Zoom call Thursday with a guy to talk through some of this. I mean, there's a lot of different things going on and how we're going to do it, but we want to provide summer camp for our students. I've talked to several different health professionals that have said they believe that by June 1st, this will be doable, just because of vaccinations and that kind of thing. So we plan on doing a summer camp. The dates for Super Summer is June 26th to the 29th is JV, and then the 29th through July 3rd is varsity. We are going to keep those same dates, even if Super Summer doesn't happen. We are planning on hosting our camp during those same dates. That way you guys can go ahead and plan out that block of your summer for that. And if something changes, we're not changing the date, we're just changing the location of what's going on. So any questions on that? I know you guys are probably already thinking summer vacations. Some of you didn't get to go on them last year because of COVID, so maybe this can kind of help in that. The other thing, go ahead. Yeah, June 26th to the 29th is Super Summer JV. That's your middle schoolers, 6th through 8th grade, had to completed 6th through 8th grade. And then June 29th through July 3rd will be your high schoolers, so that's completed 10th grade through 12th grade. Is those dates. Or 9th grade through 12th grade, sorry. Yeah, 9th grade through 12th, sorry. So what our camp would be in that block of June 26th through July 3rd if we don't do Super Summer. And we're also talking about the idea that we do middle school and high school separate, or we go to the same camp and then separate them. Because of the size of our group, I think it's beneficial for us to do a middle school side and a high school side. We still do things together. And this is for both campuses too. So if you're at Olive Street watching this, we do 3 major events every year where both campuses come together. Winter Retreat is one of them. Super Summer is one of them. Mission trips are one of them. And I'm kind of giving you guys the big highlights of what's going on. There will be some smaller things on both campuses. So if you're watching this, I mean, keep watching your parent newsletter, because we're still going to have things going on throughout the year that are going to be not as big as this, but will still be something you guys need to be watching for too. So. The other thing for our juniors and seniors that are on leadership team, we are planning, and I say planning because this could change due to COVID and everything. We are planning on doing another mission trip to Turkey. We would be leaving somewhere around June 6th and getting back on June 19th. Now, I know as a parent, you hear that and you're thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm sending my kid to a Muslim country. I thought that too the first year we went, until I got there and realized I felt way safer there than I would in Chicago or New York or something like that. And I'll tell you, it is a little bit nerve-wracking going in because they have the call to prayer 5 times a day. the saying in Turkey is to be Turkish is to be Muslim. That's what they say, but I'll be really honest with you, we didn't see hardly any Muslims the entire time we were there. Call to prayer would go off. I don't think I ever saw anybody stop and pray. And so it is a very liberal part of the world. We shared the gospel openly. It was nothing. We never felt threatened at all. The only thing that we had to really be cautious about while we were there was when we were dealing with the missionaries. Some of them were undercover because the government doesn't necessarily like Christian missionaries. And so they were using like English translators, different things that were allowing them to be missionaries in that country. We did not want to blow their cover. So we were just being careful in that aspect. And of course, we were being careful in everything, but that was the only thing that was really just kind of pressing on that. So don't look at this trip and think there's no way I'm sending my kid to a Muslim country. I promise you guys, it was an incredible trip. I cannot wait to go back. Chris Coleman leads this. Chris Coleman, if you guys know him, you know his background. If you're going to get caught in a country you don't need to be in and something happens, he's the guy you want to be with. And that's kind of all I can say about that. He is former Special Forces. He has dealt with some things, and he's also been a missionary to Turkey. So it's a great trip. Last time, I think it cost around $2,000, which is really cheap for a 2-week-long mission trip overseas. So just to keep that on your radar. That is June 6th through the 19th is a tentative date. And I say it's tentative because the airlines kind of change some of that stuff for us. Typically, if you guys are doing international, you know that it may change a day or two either direction. The other thing I want you guys to know about in the summer that we are planning on doing, this is both campuses together, Pleasant Grove and Olive Street, is we're going to do mission trips. We've got 3 mission trips planned in July. The first one being our 6th through 8th graders are going to Kansas City. Is just Brock in here? Brock, the dates for that July 19th to the 23rd, or do you change it from the 20th to the 24th?
Monday through Friday, but the difficulty with that is if we go Monday through Friday, you don't get to have a Sunday of worshiping with the church that you're with. And so we're looking at changing those dates a little bit, also because on Saturdays in Kansas City, they have this giant, it's called the World Market, and so there's people from all different types of cultures. That would be awesome for our students to be able to interact with and to see. So if we can give a date right now, I would say block off that whole week. So Monday to Friday is not going to be that different, but kind of book in that weekend before and after, especially when we're before. We're looking at trying to be there over that Saturday and Sunday as well.
But you would probably come back after services on Sunday morning, right?
Yes.
So you get back on Saturday or Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, we'd be back Sunday.
Okay, perfect.
We're like Wednesday and Sunday, the Sunday after.
And y'all know Brock served in Kansas City, so he knows the area well. It'll be a good trip for him, for all those guys too. Our 9th and 10th graders are going to be going to Dallas, Texas, and Bridget's been setting that up for us. Bridget started setting this up before she knew that she will not be on that trip because she'll be a mom. And so hopefully we're going to work that out. Yeah, give her an applause. It's awesome. So, but Bridget, do you have any information you can share on that with us?
Everything's kind of up in the air. People are waiting to see what's going on with COVID.
Gotcha. And the cool thing too, Bridget was, before she came on staff with us, she was serving in Dallas. So she's got some great connections. Her job in Dallas with the Texas State Convention was actually putting college students in the mission field. So this is really something she's really good at. And then our 11th and 12th graders are going to be going to Morgantown, Utah. The dates for that are July 17th through the 24th. And we're going to be working with church planners in Morgantown. Of course, it's Utah. So Mormons, sorry, the other M religion. Mormons are kind of prominent in that area. And we're going to be working with some church planners from Conway. We actually went and sat down with one of them here recently, had lunch with him, and man, they have a great plan of how to launch the church there, and should be really neat. The other cool thing about this, we have a lot of students, especially who go to Bentonville schools, they're doing a lot of conversations with Mormons, and this is going to really help equip our students into how do you go and minister to a Mormon? How do you share the gospel with a Mormon? You know, what's the difference between a Mormon and a Baptist? At one point, the biggest conversion to Mormons was Baptist. And so this should be really neat for our students. I think it's going to be really neat for our church and just as a whole. And one of the things that we're going to do after we train them to get ready to go to Morgantown is I think we're going to pull all of our students together, at least our high school groups together, to kind of hear this training and hear how to do it. So it'll be a neat trip. And they say Morgantown is absolutely beautiful. It's right there at the base of some slopes, and of course it's a big ski town and stuff. So it'll be a really, really neat trip. And then we're going to be closing out summer. Middle school lake day will be July 31st, high school August 7th. We're actually looking at possibly doing an outreach event that's going to pull those two together, but we've still got to get a few of the details worked out. Any questions on any of that?
Is there going to be a page with all these dates that we invite?
Yes, so we will have a summer calendar that comes out that will have all these dates on it for you guys. That isn't going to come out until May, but one of the other things we're doing is all these dates are supposed to be showing up on our church calendar. They are showing up on the church calendar. So you can go to fbcrogers.org. You can see all these dates on the church calendar. Yep. So, and if you're online, didn't hear that, if you go to the student part of the website, go down and click on student calendar, that will allow you to see all the dates that are there too. But we're going to do we want to make sure you guys have all the information you can have. And so if there's ever any questions, every way we can communicate better, please let us know. We want this to be easy on y'all as absolutely possible. So any other questions?
Chris?
Yes.
Are you limiting numbers of kids that can go on the mission trip to kind of separate them more? I mean, is this a you better sign up early kind of thing this year?
Yes, so it's not going to be so much of the separation, because what I'm being told is by then we should be in the clear by July. So as of right now, it's going to have to do with transportation. And so the number of seats, what she just asked, y'all didn't hear that, will there be a limit of people on each one of these mission trips? And the answer to that is yes. It's going to depend on how many vehicles we have to get them to those places. I do know that with the 11th and 12th graders, we're probably going to rent 3 15-passenger vans, and we will not be able to go. That's not mean that 45 will be able to go. What it's probably going to mean is about 30 are going to be able to go in order to leave space to sit in there for, I think it's a 22-hour drive. Anybody want to go with us? Anybody want to volunteer to drive for us? No, really, honestly, we need y'all's help on some of this stuff too. We need drivers. We need people to help us just be chaperones. If you don't feel comfortable driving a van, it's totally fine. Come be a chaperone with us and just help us out. The way we do mission trips typically is we feed people. We feed our students so that we can keep the cost really down. When I first got here, I think they were charging around $400 for mission trips. We've been able to get that cost down to, I think middle schoolers are 75, 9th and 10th 100, then 11th and 12th like 120, 115, 125, something like that. Those are going to go up a little bit just because of the cost of things, but we are going to do our absolute best to keep those as low as we can, because we know camps are expensive, and a lot of you guys have multiple kids in student ministry, and so we want to help you guys out too. Now that my kids are in student ministry, I got to make sure that I'm keeping that cost down for us too. But no, it's always, anytime, help, if you need some help financially to go on these trips, please come to us. Please let us know. One way we do need help serving this coming week is because of COVID, we are serving every one of our students their meals. So we need adults that can come in. If you can give us like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of your time, either Saturday at lunch or dinner Saturday, it would be a huge help for you guys just to come in and help us just serve plates. It's all we can just serve plates. We're going to have cooks there. You know, we're going to ask you to cook. We're going to ask you to clean it. Things will be disposable, goes in the trash. If you guys can help us just show up and serve, it would be a huge help for us. And then we're going to have some other people who are going to stick around a little longer, and you're welcome to help us with this too, to kind of help point students in the right direction, just so they don't get lost at Olive Street. That place is a big maze. So wonderful building, but it's a big maze. Any other questions? Like I said, if you ever have questions, let us know. Students at fbcrogers.org. We'll be glad to answer them. Rick, is there any more questions online that's come up?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let me pray with you guys real quick and we'll get out of here. Make sure you fill out your medical release forms back here before you leave to make things easy. And make sure you get your students signed up for Winter State Treat this weekend. It's going to be a wonderful time that they will not want to miss. I promise you that. But let's pray. God, thank you so much for each and every individual in this room. Thank you for our students, for our church, Lord, the fact that in the midst of everything going on in this world, you're still letting us come and worship. God, you're still letting us do some things. And I thank you so much. But I pray for your protection upon us. God, would you keep us safe? Would you keep us COVID free? Would you just watch over us, especially this coming weekend as numbers are so high? Just pray, God, that you just put your hedge of protection around us. And let this be a weekend that our students remember for every positive thing that happens. And God, I again, just thank you for these families. Help us to serve you well. Pray all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thanks, guys. See you.